Hi, and welcome to this week's Bitrix24 webinar, Self-Hosted Advantages. So who are we? My name is Andy Naylor, and I am the head of customer success here. And we are Bitrix24 Gold Partners. We've been Gold Partners for approximately about 10 years now, so we're very experienced in Bitrix24. We're located in Sheffield in the UK, in New York, and also in Hong Kong. And we offer a range of different services. So we offer pre-sale support. So if you're looking to purchase Bitrix24, we can certainly help with that. We also offer implementation services. So if you would like your CRM or your task management system inside Bitrix configured, we have those services. And we also offer hosting and ongoing support. So a little bit about what Bitrix24 is. It's a collaboration suite of over 35 different tools, ranging from communication tools, so you can have internal chats or voice calls, through to a fully functioning CRM, which comes with very cool automation rules and business processes inside there. Bitrix is an ever-growing piece of software. It currently has over 12 million customers worldwide, and it comes in two different types of solutions. So it comes as a cloud product, but more importantly, in today's session, it comes as a self-hosted solution. So we'll talk today all about the different features and the different advantages that the self-hosted version brings. So with regards to the cloud version, that starts at approximately $49 per month. And with the on-premise system, you pay a one-off license fee of $2,990 for the lowest user license version, which I'll discuss shortly. And then the ongoing costs in year two, the license renewal is just 25% of that $2,990. So looking at the self-hosted solution, it comes in a range of different editions. So starting off with the Bitrix24 Business solution, this starts at a user license of 50. So if you would like the on-premise self-hosted solution, it would be a Business 50 if you had under 50 users. It then goes up to the Business 100, Business 250, and then Business 500. So again, it's all around and focused around your user count inside Bitrix. And the Business Edition is the most popular. It's one of the most popular self-hosted solutions. Just like I say, it varies on your number of users. The Business Edition has all of the features of the cloud. It also has the Extranet, it has the Helpdesk, and it also has an e-learning module. And again, we'll have a look at those different features throughout this particular webinar. The other edition that Bitrix comes in is the Bitrix24 Self Hosted Enterprise. So the Enterprise solution comes in a user license of Enterprise 1000. So you can have up to 1000 users, and then 5000. So you can have an Enterprise 5000 with up to 5000 users. Now, the difference between the Bitrix24 Enterprise and the Business Edition is that the Enterprise allows you to have multiple divisions of Bitrix24, so multiple sites. And essentially that means that you can have Bitrix on a number of different domains. So it might be that you have system1.intraface.com, system2.intraface.com, or your own domain name. And you can have your users access those sites separately via a different URL, logging in and each user can communicate with the different users on that particular enterprise division. That's one of the key features of the enterprise. The main advantage of the enterprise solution is, although you've got an unlimited number of sites, essentially, they are all managed globally through one control panel. So if you want to manage multiple, maybe offices, so you might have offices in different geographical locations, or you might have different teams that might have a division of Bitrix each. The good thing is that it can be all managed globally. So just in one single control panel, you can manage those users. And that includes things such as what the self-hosted brings is Active Directory. So if you're managing your users using Active Directory, an enterprise solution can accommodate that. You would manage all your users in one place, even though they're accessing different Bitrix24 systems. So those are the two types of editions. Obviously, if you've got any questions, please do feel free to ask, or our contact details will be on the screen throughout this particular webinar, and you can get in touch with us, and we're more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So what are the benefits of the self-hosted system? So the thing is with the self-hosted is that you have access to essentially all of the source code. It is self-hosted, so you can use an FTP client, or you can use the control panel to access all the source code. And what that generally means is that it is a fully customizable platform. So you can make your own pages, add different sections into Bitrix. You can customize the style of Bitrix. It's very customizable. And what a lot of people use the self-hosted version for is generally for that purpose. If Bitrix Cloud version is limiting your business in a particular way, maybe it needs a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of customizing, then generally most customizations are possible on the self-hosted system, as long as you have got a qualified developer and an experienced developer who is used to making those changes inside Bitrix24. The self-hosted system is easily branded. As I say, it comes with a control panel, which I can show you shortly, and that's where everything is managed. That's probably the key difference in terms of visually, and the management side is that's where it's very different from the cloud system. Obviously, the cloud system does not have the control panel. As I mentioned, you have access to all of the source code. The self-hosted system is very flexible in terms of integrating with other platforms. There are areas within the business process tool where you can add your own PHP code, which makes integrating a lot more flexible and a lot more achievable on the self-hosted system. And there are a lot of other cool features inside the self-hosted system, not only the fact that your data is stored in a place where obviously you are aware. You can either self-host it in terms of in your office, maybe on a physical server, or you could host it on a particular virtual machine, whether that's AWS, whether that's Google Compute, or a hosting service that you are familiar with. That is one of the key benefits of the self-hosted system. You have full access to the data that you're storing inside your Bitrix24 system. So let's look at one of the first benefits then of the self-hosted system, and that is the ability to customize it. So a lot of people are familiar with the cloud version of Bitrix, but that is very rigid, and if you would need to ever customize it in any particular way, then you are pretty limited on the cloud version. Whereas the self-hosted version, you do have the source code. So because you have the source code, that makes it very easy easy to add your own styling. So it might be that you want to change all of the fonts that are on your Bitrix24 system. That is possible on the self-hosted Bitrix24 platform. So styling is quite a popular one for people wanting to use the self-hosted. They can style it how they wish. They can tweak colors. They can tweak fonts, as I mentioned. You can edit any page on the system. So what I'll show you shortly is how easy it is to be able to create your own page inside the self-hosted Bitrix24 system, and you can then add your own content onto those pages. Now that makes it really a powerful tool because it allows you to bring in other aspects that you might use other systems for. So we have quite a lot of clients that use the self-hosted version of Bitrix for housing their training material. It might be that they want to create a new training section inside Bitrix. So they have a left-hand menu item called training. Click on that, opens up a page within Bitrix. And then on those pages, you can then maybe embed a series of training videos or training content to be able to download or just simply read from inside Bitrix. That's just one example, and I'll show you how easy it is to be able to do that in a moment. Navigation, so you can obviously customize your own navigation. And again, one of the key areas that we tend to get a lot of feedback from is that Bitrix does have a lot of features. So it has a lot of different modules, things, everything from tasks to CRM, to work groups, to knowledge bases. And it can be quite overpowering to start off with. Now, the limitation that you have on the cloud is that you can hide menu items. Those menu items would then fall under the More category in the left-hand menu, and they would essentially be hidden, but those are retrievable by just clicking on More again and opening it up. What the self-hosted edition allows you to do is it allows you to create a new user group, and you can assign users to that particular user group. And then we can show and hide the left-hand navigation to that particular user group. So it might be that you have administrators, and you want administrators to see every single menu item. That's quite straightforward. On the self-hosted, we could do that. It then might be that you have your employees group, so everybody that's not an administrator. You might only want them to be able to see the feed, tasks and projects, and the CRM, and maybe work groups as well for projects. So that would be 4 menu items. What we could then do is just create a rule in the self-hosted system to only show the normal employees who aren't administrators those 4 menu items. We would hide everything else. And therefore, when those users enter the system, they're not overfaced and they're not tempted to click around the different modules that you're not going to be using straight away. And therefore, it makes the user experience inside the Bitrix24 system a little bit easier, a little bit more targeted, so they don't lose focus on where they need to go inside the system. So navigation is quite a popular one to be able to tweak inside the self-hosted system. Dashboards is another great tool that you can use inside Bitrix24. We've created custom dashboards. So obviously Bitrix has its own reporting tools, such as the CRM analytics, the reporting inside tasks. But it might be that you want to build your own custom reports, or even easier, embed dashboards from another reporting tool. Again, because you have the ability to create additional pages and to customize your own components, then you can start building out or embedding your dashboards into the system. So again, utilizing Bitrix as the central source of truth by bringing in other tools so people can access everything they need inside Bitrix. We can have customer portals. So you can do that on the cloud. So that would be a customer portal is what we're referring to as the extranet. You can have that on both systems. However, what you can do on the self-hosted system is have the ability to customize it a little bit. So I'll show you an example of what we've done on our demonstration site, is where we've added our own banners to the right-hand side. So when the user logs into the extranet, they can quickly and easily navigate everything and everywhere that they need to, not simply just using the traditional left-hand menu, but also some clickable banners on the right-hand side. And then finally, custom modules. So again, this one is a little bit more advanced. You can create your own custom modules inside Bitrix. So we've created a whole range of different modules for our clients, everything ranging from our own absence management tool, where we can have leave allowance, so vacation allowance, so they might have 20 days and then request it 5 days off. Once approved, it takes it off that. So things like that are great additions to Bitrix24. And again, the self-hosted system gives you that flexibility and capability to do that. Let's just jump into the self-hosted system on here. So as you can see, once you've logged in to Bitrix, you can see it pretty much looks identical to the cloud, with one exception is the top banner up at the top here. Now, before I just show you a little bit of customization, very basic customization, let me just switch to a login screen. So if you're familiar with the cloud version of Bitrix, when you navigate to your system URL, what you'll notice is that it's all Bitrix branded, and you can simply log in via that particular Bitrix screen. With regards to the self-hosted edition, you can have your own branded login page. That's not just for internal users. If you've got an extranet and you have external users accessing your portal, then you can have them navigate to a different branded up login page. And that's quite popular because obviously your customers then, who you're inviting in, don't see the Bitrix login, they would see your company branding and maybe a nice message on their portal login screen. So it's just an example of showing you a little bit about the customization side of Bitrix. So as I said, one of the key things with the customization side of the on-premise system is that we can add our own pages. So it might be, as I said, we might want to have a training section on the front end for our staff all to access. Now, on the self-hosted edition here, I can click into Control Panel. And what I can do is I can navigate to the files and folders here. And only an administrator would be able to do this. But what we can do is we can add our own section and our own pages on here. And I'm just going to check to see if we've got a training section. So we don't at the moment. So what I can do is add a new section inside Bitrix called training. And then what I can do, I want an index page on here, and I can then click save. And I'll come back to actually editing this page in a moment. So we could say training dashboard, just as an example. So click on here, and then we have an index. What we might want to do then is create multiple pages inside this training area. So I could add a new file. And then in here, it might be that we have Bitrix24 training. Okay, so we click on save. And I can keep on adding additional pages. And I'll show you what that looks like on the front end in a moment. What I can then do is add a menu. So what we might want to do is click on left section here, and then we would say training dashboard. And then that would be index.php. And then in here, we might want to put Bitrix24 training. and then I'll paste Bitrix24 training in here. So click on save. So at the minute, I've created 2 new pages quite quickly and quite easily. There's no content on them yet. I'll be able to show you how we can add some content. And then I've added a top menu, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. So now what I can do is go to the front end on here, click on configure menu, and I'm going to add a custom menu item. I'm going to call it training. And then in here, what I'm going to do is click on there. I'll get this URL on here and then click save. So you can see I've added this menu item on here. I can drag and drop where I would like it. Once I click on training, sorry, I've added that incorrect. Click on configure. And then let me just change this. So click on save. I added the incorrect. Click on save changes. Click on training. So you can see on here now, what I've done is I've clicked on training in the left-hand menu and it's gone to our index page. So that's going to be our training dashboard. And we could put little blocks on here to show, to allow us to navigate to a particular section of each training. And then you could see on the top, I've created another page here called Bitrix24 training. So on here, I might want to embed maybe one of our YouTube videos to create a catalog of training videos inside Bitrix. So this is quite a common way to customize it, creating your own section in the left-hand menu and then having multiple menu links across the top to navigate and access the content that you need to. I can edit the pages from where I was originally, so I can go back into the control panel and go into files and folders. Or alternatively, what I can do is I can navigate to the top widget up at the top here. And then if I just click on Bitrix24 training, I can click on edit page. And then in here, what I can do is I can access, for example, maybe embedding a YouTube video. So it might be that I want to embed a full video of our demonstration, full demonstration video. So I can click into here, I can click on embed, click save. You can see here we've got our Bitrix24 full demonstration. Click on there like that. I can come back and tweak it in a moment. So click on save. And then you can see here we can access our full demonstration. I can make that obviously a little bit smaller if I wanted to. I could click into here. I could click video properties. It might be that I want to make it a little bit smaller. Click on save. And we have all of the different tools up here. And furthermore, you can actually access, obviously, because I created this page, you can access the source code and create your own HTML table structure, page structure, however you'd like it. So I can click on save again. That will then make that video smaller. And you can see how you can start to build up a particular catalog of training videos, just as an example in this particular case on here. So hopefully that's one use case for you, and I'll jump to some other different features in a moment. Obviously, if you do have any questions, please just do jump in and ask. One of the other ways to customize, as I mentioned, and what a lot of people like the self-hosted solution for, is the ability to brand the extranet and add a few little different items. So if I jump into the extranet on the left-hand menu, what we have here, we've just made some modifications to the right-hand sidebar, and we've put our own banners. So we've got support, we've got webinars, we've got talk to us on here. And that can be really powerful because we've developed customized and personalized portals, extranet portals before for our clients. And it might be that once you log in and you're from a particular company, what you could do, we don't have a logo on our extranet site at the moment, but you might want to switch the logo up so they're familiar with their own branding. So if I, for example, I'm an employee of Nike, just an example, and then I log in, I could maybe see the Nike logo up in the top left-hand corner, a little bit more personalized. But if I was from another Converse, for example, then I could log in and see a Converse logo. So there's things like that that you can tweak just because, again, we have access to everything that sits behind the system itself, and we can modify that and associate things to users who log in. One of the other cool tools that, again, the ability to customize and utilize some of the features in Bitrix is that inside the actual system itself, so if we go into the CRM, we have a lot more power in terms of the business processes. So when we look at the business processes inside Bitrix, on the cloud, you're pretty fixed in terms of what Bitrix can provide you. In terms of the on-premise system, we have the PHP code block. What that allows us to do, it allows us to really utilize some of the powerful features, such as, for example, if I was in the CRM in contacts or in companies, and again, this is something that we do quite often, is that I might want to click into a contact here and then utilize the workflow tool to maybe create them as an extranet user and invite them into the portal all automatically. So I could click onto here. It would then, so I think we have make live user here. I click onto there. Usually what happens with our process is that this contact is associated to the company Green Van Man, and then Green Van Man would have its own extranet work group. And because it's associated to this particular company, it would put Jane Green, in this case, it would send Jane an email with some automated user credentials. It would add Jane as a user to the system, but it would also add Jane into the extranet project group as well, because the extranet project group will be in the company. So again, just the ways that you can utilize some of the customization capabilities inside the self-hosted version, because features like that don't exist on the cloud. You can't create users from contacts in the CRM, for example. There isn't any action block in the business processes to be able to do that. So again, just giving you a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more power to achieve some of the more advanced features inside Bitrix. So those are some of the customizations. Obviously, you can, there are a lot more, but we can't discuss every single one of them. If you do have any thoughts about what you would like to customize inside Bitrix yourself, again, please do get in touch with us. We'll be able to tell you if it's possible and then how much work is involved in the customization of said feature that you would want. Going past the customizations, looking at the features. So the on-premise version does have all of the features that the cloud system has, with the exception of one at the moment, because all features get released to the cloud first. If they are cloud features, there are separate self-hosted features as well. But approximately, I would say 2 months after, approximately, they would then get released onto the self-hosted system. So the one that the self-hosted system doesn't have at present, but is coming, is the Bitrix24 sign feature. So the document signature feature is coming, but is not available just as yet on the self-hosted. So it does have all of the features that the cloud has, plus it has more. So the self-hosted has a built-in help desk. It has built, and I'll show you that in a moment. It has built-in e-learning. It has built-in analytics, and it also has custom modules. And I'll show you the help desk feature, and I'll show you maybe one of the custom tools that we have on ours for absence requests. So I'll be able to show you that as well. So all of the features, plus a few more additional ones that the on-premise system has. So if I jump into the portal, just to give you an example of the help desk. So it does have a built-in help desk system that you can either email support. So for example, if you email support@intreface.com, If the system recognizes you as a support client of ours, then it will create a support ticket. So it will create a support ticket into the help desk. The alternate option, again, this is something that we do, is we have embedded our help desk module inside the Extranet portal. So if I'm on the Extranet portal here and I click on support, what we'll be able to see is the ticketing system that Bitrix comes with. So you can see in here, I can click on create new ticket. I can fill out my issue that I'm having with Bitrix. So if I need a little bit of support, I can fill out that. And then what will happen is it will notify a support agent who you specify in your user list, so that you can have multiple support agents. They would then get notified of a particular ticket that has been raised. They will get an email and they'll get a notification. And then what would be expected is that the support agent would be able to access the support tickets. There would be a quick link to this, but if I click on trouble tickets in here, we'd be able to see, based on all the filters at the top, a support ticket that has been submitted. I can go into this, I can see the ticket, I can click on answer. We have frequently used answers, so I can just, it's like a canned response essentially. So if the person is asked, how do I edit my profile? I can click on there and you can see that it would embed the canned response inside the ticket. We can specify all sorts of things in here, category that it should be assigned to, well, what SLA a person is associated with. That can come through automatically based on the user that submitted it. And also things like timing. So this will go up, how long I spend on it, and so on and so forth. And then you can report on that. And then I can click on save. That would then answer the ticket. It would fall out of my, based on the filter, it would fall out of my help desk. And then the customer would receive an email with my response. And again, they can either reply to that email, it comes back in and creates the reply to the ticket, or they could log into the portal and fill out that particular form. So it is quite customizable. We have created another solution as well. There's a demonstration video using a smart process automation tool. So using the smart process automation, we've created a help desk. And again, the tool that we've created for that is for the self-hosted version of Bitrix only, because it uses tools inside here, such as the mail option. So we can create a support mailbox. On that support mailbox, we can create specific rules, and therefore we can then create an SPA item and use the automation inside that. So if you're not familiar with smart process automations, I would definitely recommend just getting in touch with us and maybe just sending out, I can send out a link to anybody that is interested, just of the demonstration video, and you can see how that is, how that works. Because essentially you might not need us to supply it you can create that yourself, but it can get quite complex, especially with the mailbox rules. So there are two types of help desks that you can essentially have on the self-hosted solution. What we also can do inside here, I'm not 100% sure if this system, it has, what we also can do is create custom modules. And you might have seen earlier on that I mentioned about leave requests. And that's quite a common feature that people request inside Bitrix. Now, the cloud version and the self-hosted version do come with an absence request. So you can say that I'm going to be off from Wednesday the 17th of May to Friday the 19th of May. That gets then sent to your supervisor. It then gets approved, and then it gets added onto the absence chart. What we've done, and what you can do on the self-hosted, because it's customizable, is create your own custom modules. So we have created, for example, the absence management module. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to create custom dashboards, custom tables of data that currently, just bear with me one moment. Yeah, so ask your questions as you go through. So currently what we have in front of us on here is the ability to book leave. And once it gets, yeah, as I say, you can do that as standard on Bitrix. But what this can do is the ability to have it deduct from your leave allowance. So in this case, we have user Mike here, has 21 days annual entitlement. He's currently not got any booked off, and therefore he's got 21 days remaining. If, for example, Mike was then to request leave, and as I say, maybe the next 3 days, and then his supervisor approves it, that would then deduct off his remaining leave entitlement, and therefore he would have 18 days rather than 21. And what we can do as well is we've customized, and again, I'll have to check on here, we have these custom components in the profile. So we have each staff member no longer has to go to HR and say how many leave days have I got remaining. Instead, again, with the self-hosted, you can create these custom components that allow you to modify particular areas of, in this case, the user profile. So you can see here, this person's got a lot of remaining leave on here. You can see the total, how many is available, and how many days they've requested without an actual response from their supervisor. And again, you can see my approved leave, and then you can see in here what I'm pending. And I can click on cancel, and then that would remove that request. And again, it means that the person doesn't have to contact HR and say, I want to cancel my request. The user and employee can cancel it directly from their own profile. So again, it's just giving you that insight into what's possible on the self-hosted solution, because, as I say, you wouldn't be able to achieve this on a cloud version, because it does use quite a few of the components that you wouldn't have access to on the cloud version. Just got a question just come through, just said about sending the link over. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I've got your email there and I can send that over, no problem at all, with regards to the help desk for the SPA as well. And again, we also have a demonstration video on this on our YouTube channel on the absence management tool, if it is something that you're interested in. So yeah, those are a couple of the features that do come with the self-hosted system. And then finally, we just look at the integrations, because, as I say, the cloud version does integrate with many platforms, and it is increasing with regards to the number of different applications it can connect with, especially with middleware now that you have, such as Zapier or Make.com. There are tools now that act as the middle ground between the two connecting systems. However, the self-hosted version is a little bit more flexible in terms of, if that integration doesn't exist, what we can do is it can essentially be created. We have access to the full REST API inside Bitrix self-hosted. So you can pretty much integrate with any area of the system and make it adaptable for what you want to achieve. Whereas sometimes with these tools, it's not as accurate as maybe as what you want it to be. So we've recently created API integrations with the smart process automation tool. That can, again, that's a really powerful feature now on Bitrix, and integrating with it is, again, it's opened up many different avenues that you can explore inside the Bitrix system. A few examples on the screen here. We can integrate with any HTML forms. So if you've got WordPress, if you've got anything, if you've got Shopify, again, we can connect with those systems with, it's quite common. Business processes, as I mentioned a couple of times, in the business process editor tool, you do have the PHP block that the cloud system doesn't have. So a lot of integrations are done through workflows and through processes. So it is quite a powerful addition to and difference to the cloud version. As you see, when I went into the control panel, we had a look at email. Again, the on-premise version is very powerful in that sense, in that you can create multiple mailboxes. It doesn't have to be just user mailboxes. They can be system mailboxes, and you can have them pretty much do what you want. So I mentioned about the smart process automation tool, in the fact that we have built the help desk in that smart process automation, but we've also integrated the self-hosted mailbox feature, because that mailbox performs rules. It then creates the help desk ticket in the smart process automation. And again, we've created handlers. When people reply, it feeds back into that smart process automation help desk ticket. So we've done all that with the self-hosted, and that's just one example. And then you've got API and webhooks. Again, API is open. It's a REST API on the self-hosted. Again, a little bit more flexible of what you can do in terms of the self-hosted system rather than the cloud system. You can pretty much, if you have got a scope of work that you need to carry out, we would work with you on that, or another partner would work with you on that, and really be able to achieve 99% of what comes to us. It just, some are quite complex and some are quite simple, but the self-hosted system is powerful enough to achieve what you will be looking for. Now, with obviously the self-hosted system, it is what it says it is with regards to hosting. So you can essentially go to the Bitrix24 website and look at the self-hosted installation page, and you can see that it will come, Bitrix provides you with a virtual appliance. So you apply that and install that virtual appliance, and essentially what it is a packaged environment. So it will provide CentOS so Linux CentOS operating system. It will provide the latest version of PHP, Engine, and so on and so forth. So it's the virtual appliance gives you everything that you need to run Bitrix on. Then you just run the installation script and you can install Bitrix onto that appliance. We offer a Docker environment as an alternate solution. It is approximately about 30% more optimized than the virtual appliance. We've got in-house engineers here that have worked on it quite a lot, and we quite like it. It's got containers, and it's quite flexible to increase storage and so on and so forth. So again, if you're interested in that, just let me know and let us know. And then, so if you want to self-host it, you can just pick AWS, Google Compute, your own in-house server, your own hosting. Generally, what we try and recommend is have an empty server to start off with. Don't have things like cPanel on it or Plesk, or because what can happen, I'm not saying it happens every time, but what can happen is it can conflict with packages that are on the server. We've seen that before. So we would just try and recommend to start off on an empty server, install the appliance, or if you're interested in a Docker environment or optimized environment, you get in touch and we would install that and then install Bitrix. You will have to have some knowledge on hosting and on servers, or have somebody in-house, because generally how you would access and control everything would be through SSH command line. And if you're familiar with that and you're comfortable with that, then yeah, it's quite good that you can host it yourself. The alternate solution is that a partner can host it for you. We offer hosting. There is a cost to it, but we offer hosting. And again, we have worked with Bitrix for up to, I think it's around about 10 years now, maybe a little bit more. So we're very familiar with hosting. The majority of our systems and the majority of our clients are on the self-hosted. And yeah, we've optimized servers. We've optimized it for speed. It's secure. It's backed up on a daily basis. And then we've got retained 2-week, 1 month backups as well, so everything is in place. And again, if you are hosting it yourself, just make sure that you have that in place. And again, our solutions in terms of our partner hosting is it's scalable. We can easily increase disk space. So if you start with 50 gig, you can then increase it to 100 gig and so on and so forth. And we can increase the server performance. So if we need to increase RAM, if we need to increase CPUs, it is scalable. So you should never have an underperforming Bitrix system with the self-hosted system, as long as you're familiar with the server infrastructure. So in terms of pricing, so what happens is a license for Bitrix starts at around about $2,990, and that's for a business 50. So that gets you up to 50 user licenses on Bitrix. And then every year for the renewal, you will be required to renew your license. So Bitrix Self-Hosted now works on essentially a subscription model, and the renewal cost is about approximately 25% of the initial license cost. And that's really important to note, because you need to be aware of your ongoing costs. It does drop considerably from the initial license purchase, and it makes it very competitive then with the cloud solution. So if you had, for example, a Pro Cloud or an Enterprise Cloud, you're talking for, in terms of the license cost, the self-hosted is cheaper than those going forward. The only difference is, obviously, with the self-hosted, you have to pay for hosting. So partner hosting is approximately, and again, it all depends on what spec, how many users, and what performance you require and what space that you require, but approximately starts at about $2,250 per year for your hosting. Obviously, if you're hosting it yourself, you will know the costs of what a particular instance on AWS is going to cost you, for example. And then just have a think about what you might want to do on top of that. So if you need it customized, just take into consideration a partner will charge a project by project basis. Again, with integrations, if you want a partner to do an integration, or you're looking at a middleware software, like I said, like Zapier or Make.com, there are cost implications in those kinds of integrations. So again, just have a think about, do you need to connect it up to your accounts package? Do you need to connect it up to another telephony package? Again, there are costs involved in some of these things. Training, you can take out training with ourselves. We offer training in terms of hourly packages, so we can train you on the control panel, the CRM, the task management. The only thing that we don't offer developer training, because obviously it's quite complex and it would take a considerable amount of time if you're not a developer yourself. And then finally, your premium support. So Bitrix do offer support on the on-premise through the live chat. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time for them to respond, so partners do offer their own support. We offer a range of different support packages, from 5-day to 7-day support, all ranging at different costs. So these are just the things that you need to take into consideration when you're thinking about getting the self-hosted version of Bitrix. Obviously, some of these are going to be optional. The license and the partner hosting, or your hosting, is going to be a cost each year. So in summary, really, I hope you found this useful, but in summary, the self-hosted version is very customizable. It's can integrate with pretty much anything, but not just integrate. It is essentially achieves what you want it to achieve. So whereas some of, like I say, some of these Zapier and Make basically say when a contact is created, create an invoice, and they're pretty rigid. The integrations and the customizations that you can do with a developer pretty much achieve what you want to each time. There are different modules. So we looked at this Helpdesk. we looked at, well, I mentioned about the ability to create your own customized areas in maybe the smart process automation, the business process being more flexible. You might want to convert your contacts into extranet users. So there are quite a lot of key features and key tools that you can have. I guess one of the priority for a lot of our customers when they come to us is hosting it themselves, so they can have it on their local network. For example, it doesn't have to be publicly accessible until you need to update it. Then we need to, as long as you can get access to the update server, then we can update the system and so on and so forth. So a lot of our customers come to us for that primary requirement and then expand into the customization and integration. So if you're wanting your data secure on your own network, in your own data center, this solution is for you. I think this is where Bitrix stands quite apart from other cloud-based systems, because it does have that capability. So hopefully you found that useful. It's just a bit of insight into the different features and the different advantages of using the Bitrix24 self-hosted system. We have these webinars, I think it's every 2 weeks, and they range from looking at the project management system of Bitrix, the HR toolkit, the better business processes, so we focus on automation and processes, telephony, the Bitrix24 sites module, and we also have a live Q&A on, it's actually on LinkedIn now, each week, and it's on Zoom as well. So if you are interested, that is actually this Thursday at 3 p.m. UTC as well. So the live Q&A sessions are really good if you have questions and you want us to answer them live on screen. So if it might be that you want to know how to create a mailbox on the self-hosted system, we can show you live on screen. So please do attend that. Like I say, if you want to go to our LinkedIn, company LinkedIn page, if you follow us on there, then you can register for that event. You'll receive a link pretty much exactly like this. And then, yeah, you can ask us on there. I can certainly send over the links to the people that have requested about the help desk for the smart process automation. But other than that, I think that's it, unless anybody's got any final questions on here. If not, again, thank you very much for your time. And yeah, bye for now.